Jeremy Clarkson praises Clarkson's farm co-star after he shares cryptic post. Kaleb Cooper has made no secret about his desire to buy and run his own farm one day. Jeremy Clarkson has paid tribute to his farm manager, Kaleb Cooper, after the Clarkson's farm star shared a cryptic post. Cooper, 26, has helped tend to the diddly squat farm in the Cotswolds for years and was recently promoted to manager, as shown in the Prime series, Clarkson's Farm. The Chipping Norton resident, who has previously revealed his desire to buy and run his own farm, shared a mysterious post about the future on Instagram. Days later, Clarkson, 64, praised his co-star, entrepreneurial, spirit in his The Sunday Times column. He has an entrepreneurial mind that would put John Rockefeller to shame, and he knows more about cows than cows do. I'd go further, the former Top Gear host wrote. He knows more about wheat than Isaac Newton knew about gravity, which means that in his field, he is as clever as Phil Foden is on a football pitch. But because he doesn't read newspapers or books, he doesn't know about anything else, he added jokingly. Last week, Cooper raised eyebrows after sharing a photo of himself standing with his back to the camera on the farm at sunset. Crazy how times fly when you're having fun. 2 years ago since I found out I was having a little girl. Can't wait to see what the future holds, he wrote alongside a winky face emoji. Clarkson bought Diddley Squat Farm in Chipping Norton in 2008 and took over the running of it in 2019, as documented in 3 series of Clarkson's Farm. Last year, Cooper, who has been farming since he was 13, revealed he has been unable to buy his own farm due to soaring prices. Everything's through the roof, and I don't want to move away from the place I love most, he told The Telegraph in April. Cooper said it was frustrating to have been priced out of buying in his hometown, but he is still determined to pursue his dream. He went on, "That's why I'm so busy doing everything possible to get to that dream of buying a farm. I'm going to do it one day." Meanwhile, last week, Clarkson came under for charging customers £200 for an extra large pie at his farm shop. He was called out for selling the overpriced, made-to-order pie at his Diddley Squat Farm shop, which is next to his pub, The Farmer's Dog. Jeremy Clarkson, the former Top Gear host and star of Amazon's hit series Clarkson's Farm, has been making headlines yet again, but this time, it's for a heartfelt tribute to Kaleb Cooper, his young farmhand. Over the course of the popular series, Clarkson's partnership with Cooper has evolved from an unlikely one to a genuine friendship and professional collaboration. However, the British TV personality has recently been forced to address some significant misconceptions about his co-star, all while emphasizing the invaluable role that Kaleb plays in the success of the show and the operation of the farm. In this professional news article, we take a deeper dive into Jeremy Clarkson's tribute to Kaleb Cooper, why he felt the need to address these misconceptions, and how their unique dynamic has made Clarkson's Farm one of the most watched and talked about shows on streaming platforms today. The Clarkson and Cooper dynamic, a partnership built on growth. When Clarkson's Farm first premiered in 2021, many fans were curious about what it would look like for the notoriously opinionated and comedic Jeremy Clarkson to take on the responsibilities of managing a 1,000-acre farm in the Cotswolds, especially with no prior agricultural experience. The show, which chronicles Clarkson's often hilarious and chaotic attempts to run a working farm, introduced audiences to several key figures, but none have become as beloved as Kaleb Cooper, the young farmhand who became an integral part of the program. Cooper, a local farmer who has worked in the area for years, was initially brought in by Clarkson to help manage the day-to-day operations of the farm. The relationship between the two was initially one of tension. Clarkson, a self-described city boy with little to no understanding of farming, frequently clashed with Cooper's more traditional, no-nonsense attitude. However, over time, their dynamic has blossomed into a deeply respectful partnership, with Clarkson often acknowledging that Cooper's expertise and work ethic are the driving forces behind the success of the farm. Kaleb's blunt, straight-talking nature has made him an instant fan favorite, and his contributions to the farm's operations are invaluable. However, despite this, there have been persistent misconceptions and misunderstandings about his role on the show, and it is these misconceptions that Clarkson recently felt compelled to address. A tribute to Kaleb, acknowledging the star of the show. In an emotional post shared across his social media platforms, Jeremy Clarkson took the opportunity to pay tribute to Kaleb Cooper, expressing just how much his contributions have meant to both the farm and the success of Clarkson's Farm. Clarkson, who is known for his larger-than-life personality and often cutting remarks, was unusually sincere in his praise for Cooper. "I'm often asked about Kaleb and what he's like to work with. The truth is, I've learned more from Kaleb in the last few years than I ever could have imagined. Not just about farming, but about life, Clarkson wrote in his tribute. He's not just a farmhand, he's the backbone of the farm. Without him, I would be lost. Clarkson went on to explain that Cooper's practical knowledge and no-nonsense approach have been crucial in keeping the farm running smoothly. He even admitted that his success on the show and the farming project would have been impossible without Cooper's expertise. Kaleb may be young, but he's been farming since he was a child, and his ability to make sense of everything from machinery to livestock is incredible. It's no exaggeration to say that he's the real star of Clarkson's farm, Clarkson added. While the tribute was filled with gratitude and praise, Clarkson also made it clear that he wanted to correct certain misconceptions about his co-star. In particular, Clarkson addressed claims that Kaleb's role on the show is exaggerated for comedic effect or that he is being portrayed as a sidekick to Clarkson's antics. Slapping down misconceptions. The truth about Kaleb Cooper's role. As the success of Clarkson's farm grew, so too did the misconceptions about Kaleb Cooper's role in the series. Some fans and critics assumed that Kaleb was simply a supporting character, a foil to Clarkson's comedic bumbling, while others believed that his on-screen persona was exaggerated for entertainment value. Jeremy Clarkson, ever the defender of his friends and colleagues, took the opportunity to correct these misunderstandings head-on. It's always been made clear to me that people assume Kaleb's role is somewhat exaggerated. They think he's just there to play the straight man to my jokes, Clarkson wrote in a follow-up statement. But the truth is, Kaleb is absolutely essential to the operation of the farm. What people see on-screen is just the tip of the iceberg. In reality, the amount of work he does behind the scenes is staggering. Without him, the farm would fall apart in about a week. Clarkson also pointed out that Cooper's knowledge of farming far surpasses his own and that much of the success of the farm can be attributed to Kaleb's practical knowledge and skills. While Clarkson is often the center of attention on the show due to his fame, it is clear that Cooper's role is anything but secondary. The dynamic between the two is also something that has evolved and strengthened over time. Clarkson has admitted that his own approach to farming has changed dramatically as he has come to respect Kaleb's work and his approach to the farm. What began as a series of humorous misunderstandings and clashes has grown into a meaningful professional relationship. Clarkson even confessed that, at times, he simply takes a step back and lets Kaleb handle the difficult farming tasks, relying on his expertise to make decisions. Kaleb Cooper's importance to the show is clear to anyone who has watched Clarkson's farm, and Clarkson's tribute and statements serve to ensure that viewers understand just how integral Cooper is to both the success of the farm and the show itself. Kaleb's rise to fame. More than just a sidekick. Since the release of Clarkson's farm, Kaleb Cooper's popularity has skyrocketed. The young farmer, who was once relatively unknown outside of his local community, has become a household name thanks to the show. His blunt, no-nonsense attitude and dry wit have made him a fan favorite, and he has quickly developed a loyal following. Kaleb's role in the show has sparked widespread interest in farming and rural life, and many fans have expressed their admiration for his work ethic and knowledge. But while Clarkson is often the one in the limelight due to his fame as a TV presenter, it is clear that Kaleb's down-to-earth personality and genuine expertise have made him just as important a figure in the show's success. Cooper's rise to fame has also led to a number of opportunities beyond the show. He has appeared in various media interviews and even begun to grow his own social media presence, where he shares glimpses of his life on the farm. However, despite his newfound fame, Kaleb has remained humble and focused on the work that brought him to the public's attention in the first place, farming. In interviews, Kaleb has repeatedly downplayed his role in Clarkson's farm, often attributing much of the credit for the show's success to Clarkson himself. "I'm just doing my job," Kaleb has said. "Jeremy may be the one who's famous, but I just get on with the farming." While Kaleb is modest about his contributions, it's clear that the dynamic between him and Clarkson is one of mutual respect and understanding. Clarkson's tribute to Kaleb, as well as his public defense of Cooper's role on the show, highlights just how important Kaleb's expertise and personality are to the series. The future of Clarkson's farm, a continued partnership. Looking forward, fans of Clarkson's farm are eager to see how the show continues to evolve and what new challenges Clarkson and Kaleb will face together. As of now, the future of the farm and the show seems bright, with both Clarkson and Cooper continuing to work together and face new farming obstacles. The partnership between Jeremy Clarkson and Kaleb Cooper is one of the key factors that has made Clarkson's farm such a success. While Clarkson brings his trademark humor and charm to the series, it is Kaleb's work ethic, knowledge, and grounded personality that make the show truly engaging. It's clear that Clarkson values Cooper not just as a colleague but also as a friend, and this genuine connection is something that resonates with viewers. The two have become a beloved duo, and their dynamic is one of the strongest elements of the show. As Clarkson's farm continues to entertain and educate viewers around the world, it's safe to say that Jeremy Clarkson's tribute to Kaleb Cooper was a much-needed reminder of just how important Kaleb is to the series and how far their partnership has come. What started as a comedic experiment has evolved into a meaningful collaboration that has captured the hearts of viewers everywhere. This article provides a professional and in-depth look at Jeremy Clarkson's tribute to Kaleb Cooper, his role on Clarkson's farm, and the misconceptions surrounding his presence on the show. By addressing the myths, Clarkson emphasizes Cooper's indispensable role in the farm's success and their evolving friendship, all while ensuring viewers understand Kaleb's significance beyond the show's comedic moments. Jeremy Clarkson pays tribute to Kaleb Cooper as he slaps down major misconception about Clarkson's farm star. Kaleb Cooper has worked for the former Top Gear star since at least 2019 when he took over running Diddley Squat Farm. Jeremy Clarkson has praised Diddley Squat Farm manager Kaleb Cooper after hearing about some of the misconceptions about the star. The star delved into how he feels fake opinions are impacting the reputation of others at the weekend. He began to discuss how footballers are commonly mistaken for being dumb and only knowing how to kick a ball, in his latest The Sunday Times column. Clarkson delved into the many players he knows who have a wealth of knowledge and continue their career. He did, however, go on to discuss the worrying preconceptions of many people in the entertainment career, including his own farm manager Cooper. The star penned, "I could bring my farm manager, Kaleb, into the argument here. So I shall. I told him recently that Woody Harrelson had given me a USS Hornet baseball cap that had been made to commemorate Apollo 11's successful mission and Neil Armstrong's safe return to Earth. Which didn't really interest him because he's never heard of Neil Armstrong, Apollo 11 or Woody Harrelson. And he didn't know what an aircraft carrier was. Other things he hadn't heard of include Robert De Niro, Fleetwood Mac and Moses. So does that make him stupid? No, far from it. He has an entrepreneurial mind that would put John Rockefeller to shame, and he knows more about cows than cows do. I'd go further. He knows more about wheat than Isaac Newton knew about gravity, which means that in his field, he is as clever as Phil Foden is on a football pitch. But because he doesn't read newspapers or books, he doesn't know about anything else." The high praise from Clarkson comes after Cooper issued a cryptic statement about his future on the farm and working with Clarkson. Since starting with Clarkson, Cooper has made no secret about his desire to one day buy and run his own farm. It could be coming sooner than fans think, as he recently took to his Instagram to share a reflective post. Sharing a snap of himself gazing into the distance over the picturesque fields of a nearby farm, he reflected, "Crazy how times fly when you're having fun."